Jimmy Pitaro says no thank you to Mickey Mouse. ESPN changes directors again with an eye towards the Super Bowl. TNT Sports' Luis Silbwasser talks, and MLB global rights in 2028. What does that mean for Fox? It's the main event, the monthly, with our buddy John Ourand from Puck.
Ourand. How you pronounce his name?
Chris, come on, man. It's only 6 letters. Can't Mad Dog get it right ever?
The second I heard that clip, I sent it directly to our guy, Anthony Mason, producer extraordinaire, board op extraordinaire. I said, this has to be in on the next time Ourand's on. So there we go.
Wait, Anthony Mason from the Knicks is your producer? What's going on here?
No, not the late great Anthony Mason. Same name, but a different person. Looks different too. So, John, it's great to have you on the podcast once again for the monthly. A lot to talk about. Pitaro, Silbwasser, ESPN looking towards the Super Bowl, and then Rob Manfred saying global rights. I don't understand what that means for Fox. I do think Netflix will be maybe interested. Amazon as well. 2028. We'll get into also what we think is going to happen in terms of baseball with this ESPN opt-out.
Andrew, before we get started, you had on Tuesday in New York an interview with Jimmy Pitaro in front of a live crowd, getting into the conference business, Marchand Media. I like that.
Off the record with me, Andrew Marchand, presented by WSC Sports. We'll get to WSC Sports in a moment. Yeah, it went well. It was great. Pitaro was excellent. Asked him all the questions about baseball, about his future, about the NFL. So really fun conversation. Looking forward to the next one as well. Not ready to announce that one yet, but will shortly. Really good time, WSC Sports.
All right. So as we get into the very first topic, I'm certain you asked him about the Disney. Lucas Shaw of Bloomberg cited anonymous sources, but people from the Disney board and Jimmy Pitaro friends, who he said Jimmy has been going to and saying he's not interested in replacing Bob Iger anymore. I'm sure you asked him about it. What was his response?
Yeah, he basically said he loves his job. He wouldn't directly say if that was accurate. I do think it is personally, and we're going to get into that deeper. But John, we have bills to pay here, so I know you started asking questions like this is the old Marchand and Ourand, but I do have to recognize who's sponsoring the show.
You know what? I just on my podcast we do that on a sort of pre-roll. This is live, so go take it over.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, time it. Yeah, I listen on 1.5 speed on your podcast, which I enjoy immensely. Also, I should mention John Ourand must read on Puck Mondays and Thursday newsletter, and then podcast Wednesdays and Sunday on the podcast called The Varsity. You can even get 20% off if you use The Varsity, which I think is good for Ourand, so do that. All right, WSC Sports is our sponsor. Asset management capabilities have been added into the platform out of the box for no extra cost for all clients, old and new. The company that pioneered AI-powered automated highlights has raised the bar again. So no longer do you need to juggle or pay for multiple tools to complete your content workflows. It all happens in one place. Go to WSC Sports in the show notes, click the link, yellow demo, and tell them Marchand sent you. If you want to listen to the whole podcast, andrewmarchand.com, andrewmarchand.com. As you were saying, John.
We were talking about Jimmy possibly going and taking over for Bob Iger. He was one of 4 executives, all internal executives that the Disney board had identified as potentially replacing Iger at some point next year. I was one of the few. I think you were as well, but I was one of the few that really thought Jimmy had a good shot at it, and I thought he had a good shot at it because he's running ESPN, and ESPN it has its tentacles in so many different areas and that's what you want with a Disney CEO, somebody that knows the different areas so well. And I've gotten to know Jimmy a little bit. I've covered him pretty extensively since he started at ESPN, and that's like 6 or 7 years ago.
I think 18.
And he is just a pragmatic executive, and I mean that as a compliment. I don't believe that Jimmy Pitaro would go through a dog and pony show if he thought that there was little chance of him becoming a Disney CEO. So the news when it broke surprised me a little bit because I thought that he had a legit shot. But hearing that he sort of took himself out early conforms with the executive that I've been covering since 2018, which is somebody that's like focused on ESPN and not spending too much time on an unattainable goal.
Yeah, so I'm going to answer in a moment. We're going to get to the director and baseball stuff as well. But if you want to listen to the rest of the podcast, andrewmarchand.com, become a full-time subscriber. So the rest of them for paid subscribers.
Can I interrupt you for a quick second?
Yes.
I gave you gold there. That should be behind the paywall. Like, that's for free?
No,
this is a bargain.
That's to tease people.
This is a bargain.
Yeah, that's you teasing people, and then it's like, oh my God, I have to listen. Let me upgrade andrewmarchand.com. I have to subscribe. Oren just gave me gold. He's got more gold ready for me. That's what exactly what you said was so great. I said, because I'm just doing this on the fly when I make the put the paywall up, and so I just said, "Oh my gosh, that was so good." People are just we're gonna have 1 million subscribers by the end of this podcast.